All right, well, it is officially fall and it's time for those fall activities. And while you've maybe been out and about, you might have started to see the leaves change colors. And a lot of questions that we get asked this time of year is why does this happen? Well, I'm going to break it down for you, and it starts with a process called photosynthesis. Now, during this process, chlorophyll is released in the leaves, and this is what gives those leaves those bright green pigments. But throughout the year, we aren't getting as much sunlight, and the sun starts to set earlier in the day, and trees need to try to conserve energy because of this. So they are not releasing that chlorophyll, which gives them that green pigment, which is why we see these colors change. And we start to see those more orange and redder tones. Now, these are some of the common trees that we see throughout the U.S. And even here on campus, we see some of those oak trees. They're going to be turning a more brown and reddish color versus the other ones. Like even in Colorado, we know those aspens, that is what turns them those golden yellow colors that we all know and love. Now, during those growing seasons, again, during those warmer months, that's when we're going to see those green and even more muted colors. But as we get further on and later on in the year, that's when we're going to see those brighter pigments. Now, even climate has a lot to do with this as well. So during those drier conditions, like the drought that we are currently in Oklahoma, that has a lot to do with it as well, because we are going to see a lot more delayed reaction with those drier conditions. Well, during those wetter months, that's when we're going to see those more on-time color changes, and even temperature also has a lot to do with this as well. Now, those abnormally warmer days is when we're going to see a lot more muted colors. So as you may have noticed, we aren't really getting into those fall temperatures yet, which is why we haven't seen those leaves start to change color just yet. But those more cooler days and those fall days that we know and love, that's when we're going to see those more vibrant temperatures. Now, looking at your current fall foliage, we can see that in Oklahoma, we haven't started to see those colors change just yet, just the northern part of the state. But here up in the northern part of the U.S., we have started to see those peak changes happen and those brighter colors. But we aren't really going to see a change until November 14th and around that November mark. And they've already started seeing that, again, those peak changes up north. But this has been a look just to see why those leaves change colors and just a little bit of the science behind it. Good night.